which they do. It's that they then enter their credentials, username, password, sometimes payment details, thinking they're using the real app.
Yeah.
And here's the kicker. Those harvested credentials, they're immediately reused by the attackers in the actual legitimate app. This leads to what we call stealth account takeover, or ATO.
Stealth ATO. So it's not just a fake app stealing data, it's a direct key to getting into the real account almost instantly. And you mentioned ATO. Why is this specific type of attack considered such a top blind spot in mobile fraud defense right now?
Right. Well, think about it. Over 60% of all web traffic, it's mobile now. And apps themselves, they account for, over 55% of our total digital engagement time? We live on these devices.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yet most traditional mobile security tools, they just weren't built for this. They can't easily detect these stealth ATOs because they don't know where those login credentials came from. To the real app security system, it often just looks like a normal login attempt. The vital context that the password was just phished seconds ago from a fake app, it's completely missing.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. It's like someone makes a perfect copy of your house key by tricking you and then just walks in the front door. Your regular locks don't help. Which brings us to a really critical point. How on earth are attackers getting these full-blown, convincing fake apps into supposedly trusted places like the official app stores, and how are they tricking users so effectively?
Yeah, it's a mix of things. They're exploiting both technical gaps and, frankly, our own psychology. First, they use cloned user interfaces, stolen branding. They make the fake app look almost identical to the real deal. Logos, colors, layout, the whole nine yards.
So visually, it's really hard to tell the difference.
Very hard, often. Second, they promote these impersonating apps quite aggressively. Think paid search ads you search for your bank, and the first result, sponsored, might be the fake. They also use social media campaigns, maybe even try to game the App Store's own recommendation algorithms.
Oh.
Users download them thinking they're legitimate, pop in their login details, and boom, credentials harvested. The key thing is, we inherently trust the official app stores, don't we? We assume apps listed there are vetted, they're safe.
Yeah, you just sort of take it for granted.
Exactly. And that assumption makes this kind of spoofing incredibly effective.
So it's that combination, looks real, promoted heavily, and plays on our trust. Given this approach, are certain industries more vulnerable? Why?
Definitely. They're especially dangerous in sectors where logging in gives you immediate access to high-value stuff or sensitive data. Banking is the obvious one, right? Direct access to funds, account info, initiating transfers. But also retail and e-commerce.
Right.
Attackers love loyalty points, saved credit cards, those one-click purchase options. It's quick money.
Right, easy to monetize.
Yeah. And travel, airlines.
Yeah.
Access to change itineraries, redeem miles, plus lots of personal data. This leads to financial loss, sure, but also serious customer churn. Nobody wants their travel plans messed with or miles stolen. Basically, any app where your login unlocks something valuable is a target. We're seeing this convergence now. Mobile phishing sites, fake app listings, reusing credentials from old breaches, automated credential stuffing against mobile logins. It's a full-on assault.
That really paints a concerning picture. So what does this actually mean for the security measures most companies already have? Why are these traditional defenses, the ones they've likely invested a lot in, falling so short against this particular threat?
It really shines a light on some systemic gaps in what we think of as mobile trust channels. A big one is the App Store vetting process. It exists, yes, but sophisticated fakes can slip through. They might disguise themselves cleverly, use subtle variations in names or logos.
So they're finding ways around the checks.
Sometimes, yes. Then there's the visual deception we talked about, near-perfect clones. And crucially, many fake apps get traction through paid ads. They use typo squatting, stuff keywords into descriptions, maybe misuse trademarks slightly. They literally pay to appear legitimate in search results.
Came to trick people.
Exactly. And underpinning it all is that user assumption. It's in the App Store, it must be safe. That makes spoofing devastatingly effective. A single successful fake app can cause huge reputational damage, tons of account takeovers, massive financial hits, often before the company even realizes there's a fake app out there.
Okay, and focusing on those legacy brand protection tools, the ones maybe monitoring websites for fakes, how specifically do they just completely miss these mobile impersonation campaigns?
Well, their limitations are pretty stark when you look closely. Most just weren't designed for the fast-moving, specific environment of mobile app stores.
Yeah.
They generally don't proactively monitor Google Play or the Apple App Store on a daily basis, looking for these new threats.
So they're reactive, not proactive.
Largely, yes. They're often blind to things like app metadata abuse, keyword stuffing, category spoofing, slight logo cloning, the tricks that help fake apps get discovered, and critically, they usually lack cross-channel linkage. They can't connect the dots between, say, a fake app appearing on Tuesday and a related phishing website, or a social media ad campaign pushing downloads that started on Monday.
Ah, so they see pieces, but not the whole campaign.
Precisely. By the time a user reports a fake app, or the tool finally flags it, the damage is often widespread. It's already happened at scale. This really hammers home why you need to detect and stop the credential reuse itself. Right at the point where the attacker tries to log into the legitimate mobile app, that seems to be the only truly scalable way to tackle this. We're going to move beyond these older, fragmented methods.
That's a really powerful point. It definitely sounds like a fundamental shift is needed, which naturally brings us to a solution highlighted in your sources. Memcyco. How does Memcyco approach this differently? How does it detect the app impersonation before all that damage happens and catch the credential misuse, even if it came from a fake app?
Memcyco works from the understanding that even clever fakes leave digital trails, fingerprints, if you will. It takes a proactive, kind of multi-layered approach. First, it's continuously monitoring the places these fakes appear, official app stores, social media, looking at referral patterns to spot unauthorized app listings, dodgy use of brand elements, or naming schemes that mimics the real app. It also flags spoofed download campaigns.
So it's like an early warning system for the fakes themselves.
Exactly. It gives businesses a heads up, lets them take action before tons of users get tricked, and crucially, before those stolen credentials get weaponized. But, what's perhaps even more impressive is how it detects the misuse of credentials. No matter where they were phished from, fake app, spoofed website, malicious ad, whatever, it catches the threat the moment attackers try to use those stolen details in the real app.
And you mentioned this happens without needing changes to the actual mobile app code. That sounds incredibly seamless, especially for big companies with complex apps.
That's right. It's designed to be agentless and real-time. Agentless is key. It means no SDK.
SDK.
Software development kit. Basically, a chunk of code you'd normally have to embed directly into your app. That can be complex, time-consuming, needs maintenance.
Right. Developers often hate adding new SDKs.
They often do. So Memcyco avoids that. It works through back-end integrations connecting directly to the company's existing systems. No changes needed in the app itself. Zero impact on the user's experience. It essentially listens for high-fidelity login signals, things that indicate trouble, allowing for preemptive action.
Okay, listens behind the scenes. Can you maybe walk us through some of the specific ways it does that? What are the capabilities?
Sure. There are several key parts to how it works. First, there's real-time credential misuse detection. This is core. It flags stolen credentials being replayed in the legitimate app, even if they were just nabbed from a fake app or a spoofed mobile site moments before. It also flags logins coming from devices known to have interacted with impersonation campaigns or phishing infrastructure. And it correlates signal session behavior, where the login attempt came from, things like that, to really pinpoint misuse tied to these campaigns.
Okay, so it connects the dots between the source of the phish credential and the login attempt.
Exactly. Then there's decoy credential injection. This is quite clever. When Memcyco spots a phishing site or a fake app trying to grab credentials, it can sometimes inject decoy fake credentials instead of letting the real ones through.
Ah, like a honeypot.
Sort of, yeah. Then it watches closely. When those specific decoy credentials are inevitably replayed in the real app's login flow, it's an instant red flag. It reveals the compromised session, often tied to a specific device or campaign. Very revealing.
That is clever. What else?
There's also device fingerprinting. It tracks login behavior across all devices, known and unknown. This helps flag reused or suspicious device fingerprints, even if the login attempt itself looks okay otherwise. Think a device suddenly logging in from weird places or showing unusual patterns.
So, tracking the who and how of the device logging in?
Right. And finally, back-end login telemetry. This means analyzing login attempts in real time via API integrations, basically. Direct server-to-server communication. This detects things like credential stuffing, brute force attacks, other weird credential anomalies, all without needing that SDK in the app. It's about getting rich, real-time data directly from the login process itself.
That really does sound like a very comprehensive, very proactive way to tackle what seems like an incredibly complex and, frankly, fast-moving problem. It's no surprise that analysts are starting to pay attention.
Indeed. And that proactive, anticipatory approach is why Memcyco was recently recognized in Datos Insight's Q1 2025 FinTech Spotlight. They highlighted its innovative take on preventing phishing in ATO. The goal here is pretty clear and impactful, saving global companies potentially tens of millions each year in costs related to these incidents, and doing it by providing that real-time protection across both mobile and web channels.
So wrapping things up, what we've really explored today is that this threat of fake mobile apps, it's not just about dodgy links anymore, is it? It's a sophisticated, multi-layered evolution of grand impersonation. And traditional defenses, well, they're clearly struggling to keep pace. It seems proactive, intelligent solutions that can spot both the fake apps and the misuse of credentials in real time are becoming absolutely vital.
Absolutely. And maybe for you, the listener, the question this raises is, given how stealthy and fast these threats evolve, how do you ensure your own digital trust channels aren't becoming blind spots for attackers? What proactive steps can be taken beyond just, reacting after the damage is already done? It really pushes us to think about moving from simple defense to active anticipation.
That's a great thought to leave with. If you're curious and you want to see how Memcyco delivers this kind of real-time protection for mobile and web, you can book a demo to see the solution in action. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of mobile app security.